Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm so excited to be here this morning. So, I want to talk about a couple different things today, and then I want to hot seat your business. So, I can help any business grow if I know what your struggles are. And here's a really awesome thing. I just got word literally over the weekend, which is funny, over the weekend, I just got word um, that there's a woman reading my core calling book right now, and she's like doing my reporter model, and she's building her buyer's audience. And if you have a business, there you have to get good at the lead gen, or your prospects coming in. You got to get good at fulfillment, and then the key to freedom is get good at the reorder business, whether you're in supplements, whether you're in the clothing business, whether you're in a coaching or consulting business, or you're an advisor or real estate. The people who create the ultimate wealth are in the reorder business, which is why I was just having a conversation with a great friend of mine who makes a couple $1 million a year, and she's a huge like celebrity through social media. And I was just talking to her about the fact that the breakdown in her business is that the reorder side of her business, by the way, the side of her business that is in reorder stage makes $500,000 a year. Okay, so but the stage that she is known for the most part, is does not have a huge reorder section to her business. She didn't focus on that. She focuses on the front end, which is a place that I know that a lot of people make mistakes. They spend so much time focusing on just lead gen, which is critical. If you don't have lead gen, I don't care about websites because no traffic goes to them. I don't care about blogs. I don't care about any of that type of stuff. I care about you building a buyer's list first. And for my clients who are watching 6 a.m. Coffee with Shanda, you know what I'm talking about, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's great to have a product or service and offering, but if you don't have an audience to actually sell to or even practice selling to, then you're just going to find that the trajectory to freedom, financial freedom, life and abundance is just going to be harder. I don't want you to build your business one like referral at a time. I want you to build your business in droves of like quantum leaps, because you get better, not because you have to go search for a client. It's about the fact that if you build a buyer's list first, then you will get better with that buyer's list, and you will much quicker grow a financially free business. So I do want to do some hot seats this morning. Hi, you guys. How are you? Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to hook up Instagram this morning. Let's just like pop onto Instagram. Hold on one sec, you guys. Okay. I feel so horrible that I left out our Instagram people this morning. Okay, great. There's our IGers. Okay, so sorry, I'm looking at Instagram. Sorry. Okay, great. So what I was trying to say to you is that first of all, welcome to Coffee with Shanda. I'm excited to be here with you, and welcome you guys on IG to Coffee with Shanda at 6 a.m. Just so that you guys know, I do this on our Facebook, which is facebook.com/heartcore business, like a heartcore business. And I do this Monday through Friday to just give back, help you grow your businesses. You guys tag some entrepreneurial friends. In fact, on Instagram, it's June 5th, right? Somebody tell me if it's June 5th. Yes, I think it is. We are actually starting this week a whole campaign on just acknowledging other awesome entrepreneurs. Because let's be honest, walking into the world of entrepreneurship, half the people think we're absolutely crazy in our life. They don't understand why we take the risks that we take in our life. They don't understand why we get coaching, right? They don't understand why we invest the way we invest in ourselves, and why we tend to be a bit of workaholics, right? They don't understand it. So on Instagram, you guys, on Facebook, I have it under Shanda Sumpter. On Instagram, we're going to give away $500 this week, and we're running just an Acknowledge an Entrepreneur campaign. And so it's my way of just rewarding you. I believe that reciprocity comes from giving. In fact, I went to a leadership meeting last week, and for our church, and I've never done anything like that before. I've never been that involved in the church, but it was about giving. And I'm a big fan of tithing, and I'm a really big fan of overgiving, even with our clients. I mean, our clients will tell you, if my clients are sitting on, especially Facebook, I know you guys are on Facebook right now. You guys know that I teach for you guys to really give generously and how that will come back to you. So that's why I'm doing it on Instagram, is that acknowledge an entrepreneur this year or this week, and we have a whole contest set up. It's probably posted. If it's not, it'll be posted any second. Not any second, but when I get off here, I was setting it up last night to really basically acknowledge great entrepreneurs for being awesome at what they do, and just having the mental grit to just say, hey, I see you, you're awesome. So go ahead and just tag a few entrepreneurs, and let's get this party rocking this morning. So an interesting thing, I don't know if you guys know Infusionsoft, but the owner of Infusionsoft is in my mastermind. And so I get to hear how, if you don't know what Infusionsoft is, it's basically a CRM system that collects your leads, like your prospects, your opt-ins, and they just help you with a lot of tracking. They help you send out emails to a broad base of people. Those of you guys who understand what Infusionsoft is, bear with me, thank you. But I happen to mastermind with the owner of Infusionsoft, and our last mastermind, he had this really interesting sheet that he was teaching us. And so let me share something that I pay $25,000 a year to learn these insights, to help my mindset and my focus just be a little bit easier. So here's what the sheet says. It basically says when you're a solo entrepreneur that you basically either a side job or you move to self-employed, right? If you've got a side job, you still have a corporate job. Then your biggest holdback is time. So if you have a corporate job, you're trying to start a business on the side, the biggest hurdle you're going to face is time. If you're a self-employed entrepreneur, then you already have a contractor or an employee that works for you. You're making anywhere from $4,000 to $10,000 a month. That's typically when people make the jump to just entrepreneurship, where they're not going to hold a job anymore. So you're making somewhere between $4,000 and $10,000 a month. There's 6 million of you in the U.S. Just so you know, there's 6 million of you in the U.S. that make between $4,000 and $10,000 a month. That's fascinating. Don't you think that's fascinating? Like 6 million. I mean, this is a big world. So, our entrepreneurship, a small category, it is. And I think sometimes we don't realize that, right? So if you are making between $4,000 and $10,000 a month and you're an entrepreneur, here's what your biggest hurdle is. It's leads. And if it's leads, you need, in the description of this Facebook Live, you guys on Instagram, sorry, but on the description of the Facebook Live on Facebook, I put in the description a link to go get my book. Look, there's somebody right now doing my reporter model, is doing it from my book, and she's getting leads. So if you're making $4,000 to $10,000 a month, you need to be getting leads. It's not website, not branding, not what should I offer. You actually need to be building a lead bucket. I know that's hard to understand or hard to believe, but I'm telling you, even if you don't know what you're selling, please, please don't make the mistake of focusing on websites, branding, or what am I going to offer? I don't even know what I'm going to offer. Don't waste your time on that. Figure out what the field you want to be in and build your buyers list, your leads. So go grab my book in Facebook if you don't have it, or go tag somebody and tell them to watch this, and then go get that. Because listen, we got to stand together, you guys. And one of the biggest challenges as an entrepreneur is actually, what do I focus on? Especially if you're following online marketing, or you're reading ebooks, or you're like me and you're consuming a lot of content to be able to grow your business. You have to know, what do you prioritize so that you're efficient, right? If you're focusing on too many things at the same time, you're actually not going to have enough time, right? You're going to be back in the category of people who have jobs who are trying to start a business. They have time as their issue. If you're self-employed, you shouldn't have time as your issue. It actually means that you're not prioritizing the right way. What are you focusing on, right? So if you're between $4,000 and $10,000 a month, based on here, which comes from Infusionsoft, the owner of Infusionsoft. They've grown a $100 million company, and they just broke it down through analytics and what you need to focus on. And I read this, and I agree 100% to the point that I'm at. And so $4,000 to $10,000 a month, if that's what you're earning, leads is the most important thing that you need to be focusing on. Okay, so hands down, go get my book on Facebook Live. I've got it in the description section, and learn the reporter model, okay? Or you guys on Instagram, you can go to heartcorebusiness.com/blog /blog. If you don't go to /blog, you're going to end up on a page that's going to try and sell you something. So go to heartcorebusiness.com /blog, and you'll see a Let's Talk app that pops up. Go say that I just saw Shanda on Instagram Live or Facebook Live, and I'd like to talk to somebody about how to increase my leads, okay? Okay, so now if you move into what's called a new employer, which means you're starting to get traction, right? You're making between $100,000 and $300,000 a year. I have a large portion of my audience that I've helped to get in that bracket. In the US, there's 1.7 million of those people. Still not a ton, right? And so people are making $100,000 to $300,000 a year. Like, feel blessed, right? Like, there's nothing that gets under my skin more when I hear somebody bitching when they're making $300,000 a year or $200,000 a year. I'm like, smarten up, like, smarten up. Like, that's great money. Be grateful. If you want to grow your business, gratitude is a big piece. Like, a thankful heart scales fast. A bitchy, like, unthankful, pissed off person, telling you, you're not even trustworthy for your clients to buy from you because you can't emotionally get stable. So you've got to just be grateful. There's only 1.7 million people in the U.S. that are entrepreneurs that are making $100,000 to $300,000 a year. Okay. So your biggest problem, your biggest hurdle is sales. Your biggest hurdle is sales. And that's what I do have on heartcorebusiness.com. So this isn't about trying to sell you anything, but for $97, I can teach you sales, right? So the same process we use inside of our company, go to heartcorebusiness.com and you can grab that. Look, I'm not going to get rich off $97 offers, but you will, right? So meaning that what I teach in it, you will get rich off of. Okay, so now let's talk about the bracket of 300,000 to $1 million. So it's awesome to see this. There's more people in that bracket than the 100,000 to 300,000. 1.9 million people in the United States are making between 300,000 and 1 million as an entrepreneur. That's awesome. That's awesome. I also have a big group of people that have gone through my PACE Club or Marketing Mastery now that are in that bucket. They're in the 300,000 to the $1 million mark. Okay, so typically your team looks like there's really just one team of people, a few people that are on your team. Your biggest hurdle is marketing and service. It's marketing and how do you serve, right? How do you fulfill? Remember, I said at the beginning that in order to grow a business, you need to have your buyers list, which this is talking about. From $0 to $10,000 a month, your number one challenge is leads, right? And so this is why I focus on this when I'm teaching people how to grow a business. The number one thing is leads, then worry about your website, then worry about your offer, worry about all of that after. Between 100,000 and 300,000, it's sales. Then when you go 300,000 to $1 million, your focus is how do I become great at marketing and how do I become great at service, which is fulfillment, right? So that people then move over to the next section, which if you put it in this order, you're going to win, right? Moving over to the next section, which is the 7-figure plus business owners, which moves into reoccurring, meaning that you need to have that reoccurring thing happen to scale and to grow into 7 figures. So from 1 million to 3 million, your biggest challenge is people and systems. And that's been a big challenge inside of our company. We did $4.7 million in sales last year. And, basically our systems and our people are the area that we were breaking down in, which means my employees, and that's what we've been focusing on. We're now growing into the scaling section of Heartcore Business, which is your growth company. And that's from 3 million to 10 million. That's the bucket we're in right now. And the biggest challenge and the hurdle that we have right now is actually leadership and culture, which is true. We have a great team of people that work for the company. Now, how do I make them leaders and how do we build a culture inside of our company? Because we're in the 3 million to 10 million mark right now. How do we do that so that our leadership team gets developed inside the company? So I share all this with you because I think that sometimes we can forget about, what should I be focusing on? And I think it's really easy to buy the wrong products to grow your business. because you're looking at really fancy, awesome, marketing that's online. Oh, my little son just got up. Marketing that's online. Be conscious. What section of the bucket are you in? And make sure that if you're in the section that needs leads, that you're not focusing on trying to really grow, let's say, huge marketing systems, or really focusing on crazy systems inside your company, because you'll get to these different layers as you go. Okay, so an easy way to know this is if you need more customers and clients, it's really and you're under $300,000, you're probably focusing on your lead section. Okay, if you're breaking down in team, you're probably it's now about hiring employees and about fulfillment. How do you actually do fulfillment really well? Because if you do fulfillment really well, the next section when you go into 7 figures will be reoccurring orders, and that's really easy to do when you do fulfillment really well. Okay, all right. So let's answer some questions, you guys. Hey, you guys on Instagram, love to have you. It's awesome to have you. And you guys on Facebook Live, let's rock this. Okay, so if you have some questions for me, I'll stay on for about another 10-15 minutes. You guys who are new to 6 a.m. Coffee with Shanda, I do it at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time from my home here in San Diego, California. And basically, it's my opportunity. I'm going to have coffee anyway, or today I'm actually having cinnamon water, hot water and cinnamon. And so I'm going to do this anyway. So I might as well just spend the opportunity to give back to you, to make a difference for you. All that I ask is that you pay it forward, you share the information, you tag somebody who is an entrepreneur, and let me make a bigger difference in the world together, okay? And I don't know how people keep asking me, how long will I do this? I don't know. But I mean, right now I have no thoughts of ending. I love giving back to you guys, and it's just a really great way for me to make a difference. And in addition, in 2 weeks, I'll be heading to Barbados, to our home in Barbados, and you'll see this ridiculous ocean behind me while I'm in Barbados coming up here in the next couple weeks. So I promise to still do 6 a.m. Coffees with Shanda, except for it'll be 12 noon there. I might be by the pool in my bathing suit. Okay, great. So let's answer some questions. So Sloan, how many days would you suggest running a 50 guest summit? So Sloan, so what Sloan's talking about is my reporter model. Like if she's got 50 different people she's doing interviews with and reporting on their tactics and strategies, how long do you do it? So Sloan, it really doesn't matter. You could run 2 interviews a day. You could run a page that goes out every single day that has 2 interviews in it, or 3 interviews in it. You can do 1 a day for 50 days. It's totally up to you. I prefer to keep them 30 days or under. So just do the math on that. Maybe just do 2 a day and see what that comes out to. Okay? Amanda, morning. And thank you from Carlsbad. My husband has a product and a company in Carlsbad called Highburst. So I love Carlsbad. Okay, Alice, what is the best platform for webinars, and do you recommend those for best to monetize? So Alice, that's a great question. I love webinars, but if you don't know how to sell and you don't know how to make offers, then a webinar really often isn't your best use of your time. However, let me share a couple different tactics about webinars. As a strategist, a business strategist, I recommend that if you're learning, and I don't know if you know how to sell, but I think, Alice, this will help a lot of people. If you feel awkward about making offers, then I actually recommend, if you do a webinar, that you actually lead people to fill out an application to talk to you and practice actually selling on the phone. I recommend that. Even people like, I know a lot of people will do campaigns out there and say, let me show you how to sell high ticket items without ever getting on the phone. Yeah, but they might not be getting on the phone, but they've actually hired somebody on their team to get on the phone. And so my point is that high ticket sales, which is what you need to focus on if you want to bring in, if you need money, right? If you need money, high ticket sales is the quickest way to bring in cash. And so that's through conversations on the phone. So I would recommend that that a webinar is great for that. It's also great for products that are anywhere between $200 up to $1,000. If you're good, you can sell products that are $3,000, like $27.95 or something like that. But anything over $3,000, you should not be selling it on a webinar. Okay, you should be absolutely talking on the phone. However, if you suck at actual sales conversations, I recommend you think strategically to better yourself, because as you get better, business gets easier. So it's not that you can't pray for like more leads or tons of sales. Like, the prayer is actually upon you getting better, right? Like, the prayer of your heart needs to be, how do I get better at sales? Not how do people just automatically say yes to me, or I make more money, right? So it's always about bettering yourself. So Alice, the best platform I recommend for live webinars is GoToWebinar. We are actually about to start doing live Thursday webinars to help people build their audiences, because I think it's a really big problem. I mean, again, I just talked about this. If you're anywhere between, zero and really it says $10,000 a month, but yeah, $0 and $300,000 a month, your focus is leads and sales, right? Which is what my company specializes in, leads and sales. And so anywhere between $0 and $300,000 a year, we're going to handle that on Thursday live webinars. But I'm going to try Webinar Jam for the first time. I think they've increased their technology and gotten better, so I'll let you know on that on future Facebook Lives or Instagram Lives coming up, okay? Hi, good morning, you guys on IG. So now, Alice, if you're going to run an evergreen webinar, again, we've been using Stealth for years, but there's also like EverWebinar. There's lots of platforms like that as well. So I hope I answered your question. Okay. Anybody on Instagram that has a question? What do you sell? What do you sell? What is your business? I'm new to your site. Oh, okay. So if you go to hardcorebusiness.com, what I actually teach people to do is build businesses. So I traditionally, for the most part, teach people how to build big buyers lists, like really engaged buyers, so that when you make offers, that they ravish them up. They become like radical fans of your work. Best case scenario I can share with you is, I can tell you a ton of stories of my clients, but like I have one client right now who 4 years ago, she wasn't even making $1,000 a month. She now makes $100,000 a month, many months. She works from home. She does not work full time. And she's making, many months, $100K a month. And so I've taken a lot of really great other clients like Sage Levine, Summer McStravick, some really great clients that were making, a couple $100,000 a year or even under that, and brought them over the 7-figure mark in a couple years. One of them, Summer, we did it in 10 months. So that's what I'm best known for. How do you first bring in the audience and then make offers that really they want? So it's easy for them to buy, even if you're not good at sales. You can get good at impact and serving your audience. And here comes my little son who's, hey, you want to come say hi? You want to come say hi? And I'm a mom. Come here, baby. Come here. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Oh, you're up early, my little bugaboo. So I hope that answered your question. You can actually go see on hardcorebusiness.com/blog. And you can actually read some of my articles about what I teach. And so, yeah, I hope that answered your question. I also teach live events. I also teach lots of business scaling, team, all of that type of stuff, but that's after people have a good cash flow. Okay, so, Alice, are you having any live events coming up soon? Yes, Alice, we're actually doing the ticket page right now. We do an event called the Zone Event, and we're doing it this year in September, and it's a 3-day workshop. This year we're teaching leads, leverage, and legacy, which means how do you get a really big input of leads at this event? How do you leverage yourself? Because, I'm a mom, and I'll tell you.
Mom?
Yeah, mom. And my son, this is hot, baby. You can try it. It's a little hot. And even as a mom, my business is my baby as well. And I'm really clear that I'm not going to slow down on helping people grow businesses just because I'm a mom. And so you got to learn how to leverage yourself so you're not pulling back when someone dies in your life, or you have babies, or you have a sick parent you got to take care of, or life gives you a tsunami. So the Zone event this year, Alice and everybody else, it'll be at thezoneevent.com, but right now thezoneevent.com says the 2016 numbers. But you can still see like some of the cool stuff that we do there. But this year will be leads, leverage, and legacy. How do you build your company so you never have to worry about finding clients, customers, or buyers again? How do you leverage yourself so that you can rock it out? We also have Jesse Itzler coming, who wrote the book Living with a Navy SEAL, or Living with a SEAL, to teach us around how to become unstoppable in our mind.
Mommy?
Yeah, how to become unstoppable in our mind. And then how do you create a company that really creates a legacy for you? Like at the end of the day, if you get burnt out on your business, it's typically because, well, first of all, you're ungrateful. And I mean that with so much love, but you're ungrateful. And typically you're ungrateful because you're not connected with a legacy that's outward focused, right? So my company, I feel compelled to show up here at 6 a.m. and make a difference for you. I also feel just as compelled to be a great mom, but it's not an either or, right? She's blowing in the hot water. It's not an either or. So how do you build a company that creates a legacy that compels you to go forward? So burnout isn't even an option, right? Like it's just, you don't lose your passion for something that you feel compelled to make a difference for. Wayne Dyer didn't lose his passion before he passed away. Debbie Ford had cancer and she was still on Oprah and pushing herself. And a lot of people say like pushing yourself is a bad thing. It's not when you feel compelled, it's fulfilling, right? When you feel compelled to make a difference, it's fulfilling. So the Zone event, thanks for asking, Alice. The Zone event this year is going to be quite special. Plus, you get to meet probably about 120 or 140 of my clients who are rocking it, right? So there's some great JV and opportunity to meet some really who's who and powerful people in the world. Okay, so Karen, mommy biz life, love it, yes. My little bugaboo, he's the best. Can I have a kiss? Can I have a kiss? No, kiss. Mwah. Do you want to blow them a kiss? Blow them a kiss. Yeah. Good boy. Okay. Any other questions here? Did you feel passionate about real estate in your business? No. Ariel, I didn't. So the question, you guys on Instagram, is somebody asked me off the back end of that last question about passion. So I was in real estate. I sold over $100 million in real estate in just over a year. And I didn't even know what I was doing. That was actually where I've learned online marketing on leads. If you really figure out the lead thing, you really don't have to do much of anything else but get the recurring orders and fulfill, right? And so, Ariella, no, I never felt passionate about real estate. I love the art. Yeah?
Daddy, this one.
Yes, Daddy's over there. Do you want to go say hi to him? Or do you want to drink cinnamon water? I never felt compelled about real estate. In fact, when I left real estate, I remember getting 250 leads on my BlackBerry at the time. I want to hold it, please. Can I hold it? And I threw my BlackBerry across the room because I was so exhausted and didn't want to keep doing it. That, it wasn't my passion. Is it not me? I wasn't passionate about it at all. So, but I love the art of the deal. I love the art of the deal and actually helping people and serving people. I need the microphone right now so they can hear me.
Microphone.
Yeah, microphone. I'll give it to you after, okay? Okay? Say yes, Mommy.
Yes,
Mommy. Yeah. So yeah, I hope that helps. And you know what? If you're having a challenge with your passion, reach out to us. You may not get me. You might get me. I'm actually going to do some calls this week myself. But if you go to heartcorebusiness.com/blog and reserve some time, on the Let's Talk app, you'll either get me, Jean, or one of our top coaches to help you figure out a strategy that will compel you to move forward. It's the reason why I wrote my book, Core Calling, because at the end of the day, if you're not connected to something that really compels you to move forward, then you will lose your passion, you will get burnt out. And, I will say this, commitment has nothing to do with how you feel. Like there have been hard times growing my company, And I stayed committed anyway. I mean, there was a whole 10 months where I got up at 2:30 in the morning because my commitment was to end my day early with my son. This is what he wants, the beach ball. Are you ready?
No.
You're not ready? Okay. Okay, he's gonna need my attention. So we will continue this. Okay, can I finish 1 second? 1 sec. Do you want to blow it up? Okay. There you go. There you go. He's gonna need my attention now. So we'll end here. But tomorrow morning I will be on Facebook Live at 6 a.m. Thank you, honey. Good morning. At 6 a.m. to answer more questions. I'll also post on Instagram as well. Unfortunately, you guys, on Instagram, I'm not able to re-answer your questions throughout the day. So you'd have to jump on Facebook Live to be able to get questions answered from me. However, I do encourage you, if you need support, please reach out to us. We are here to help. If you don't get me, you'll get one of our coaches. They're there to help. And really, that's it. If you need my core calling book, it's in the description of the Facebook Live. It's totally free, or you can get a signed, or you can get a shipped copy where I'll pay for it. That's how important I believe it is to get this book into millions of people's hands. But you pay for the shipping, because I'm not going to pay for the shipping to go to you, as well as pay for the printing the book. Okay? Hope that's fair. All right, you guys on Facebook Live, I will jump on throughout the day and I'll answer some questions. So know that if you post a business question on the thread, I will get to it at some point today. All right, you guys, God bless. I will talk to you soon. Bye, you guys. Talk to you soon.